Welcome to the Rustenburg Podcast.
How are you doing, Rustenburg family? It's so lovely to have you here with us today. I'm with Tapelo, and this is our very first podcast show. So we really hope that you enjoy it. We've got some very exciting things to chat about. So Tapelo, how does this feel to be putting something like this together for the first time at Rustenburg?
Well, it's amazing, Lauren. I'm very excited. It was a whole lot of work, but it was inspired by the grade 7 PR girls, actually, leadership girls. And yeah, I'm so happy that we're finally here at this stage where we are now pressing the play button.
For sure. Well, we can obviously also just say a great big thanks to you as well, because I feel like, this has been one of the amazing things that have blossomed at Rustenburg with since you've arrived here. So thanks so much for putting this together and for hearing those grade 7s out. It's a very, very exciting and very forward thinking and great things to come, I think.
Well, I mean, like, you're inspired by the team, like I'm sitting next to you right now and I'm like, wow. I don't know if people have heard you sing or do what you do here. It's just, everyone here is so great. And I think when I drive in and I always look up there, it says the magic happens here. And I'm walking to this building, I have to be a magician, because when you get here, everyone is a magician.
Yeah, for sure.
And you have to think like that, So I'm very excited about this. Looking forward to it. It's sad that like it's only happening towards like the end of the year,
for sure,
the end of the term where everyone is busy, and fatigue and all of those things,
Yeah. No, well, we were so lucky that our first podcast was actually with our teachers that are leaving, sadly. So it was really awesome to interview them and to chat to them, and to hear about their experience at Rustenburg. It's incredible that one of the teachers was here for only a couple of years. Others have been up until 16 years. So it was amazing to chat to them, and it's going to be exciting to look into it.
I'm very excited, I must say, Lauren. Like, speaking to all these 4 teachers, like, wow. It just gave me an insight about Rustenburg, because you could get one that was here for 10 years, 15 years, 3 years. No, I'm not speaking to the mic.
No, you're doing a good job. Don't worry.
Yeah. So it was very exciting to see all of that, and get to experience Rustenburg from a different point of view. And as much as, like, I think it's sad to lose these teachers as Rustenburg, but also we wish them the best. And to hear the experience, and the conversation that we had, I actually like the fact that we then included a video of Adele speaking about the influence the teacher had.
Impact, yeah. 100%, yeah. So we obviously got to chat to Claire O'Donoghue, and we got to chat to Lauren Faure, Janet Pienaar, and Louisa Cruickshank. And it was, as you said, it was great to play them that video, to start off by playing that video. And it basically, it just reiterated, as you said, the impact and the influence and the inspiration that teachers have on children. So we kind of kicked off the interview with the same question.
Yep.
And that was, to ask the teachers, what teacher played a positive role in their lives growing up, and that possibly led them to becoming teachers themselves. And this is what Lauren Faure and Louisa Cruickshank had to say.
2 jumped to mind. One was my grade 1 teacher, actually, and her name was Mrs. Smith. And I was quite naughty, but she always had a way of kind of protecting me from getting into trouble.
Is that the reason why she inspired you?
I just likened her to Miss Honey from Matilda. She was genuinely Miss Honey. I just loved my grade 1 teacher. And then my drama teacher in high school, Mrs. Dowds, was also phenomenal. Just very relatable, very protective, nurturing. very real. She used to say it as it, as it is, and she didn't hide things from us, which a lot of teachers, I think, do try and do. So those two definitely jump to mind.
Anyone for you, Louisa?
I had also many teachers that, as we've been talking, you suddenly remember and you remember the impact they had. I was at an all-girls school, and also it was those teachers who got to know you really well, and I wasn't ever a huge academic achiever, but those ones who just brought out the best in you, who you wanted to perform for. I had a home economics teacher, Miss Ashman, she was a young teacher, and she shared her life and her faith and her heart with us so much that the connection that we had in those high school years with her. And again, she was somebody who she heard when I was getting married and phoned me out of the blue years later when I was getting married and to wish me well for my wedding. And that sort of connection that you have, that you just are so grateful for. And then two that stand out because of my passion for English and history, and I do think it stemmed from that. I had an incredible grade 7 English teacher, Miss Faure, and Mrs. Donald, my matric history teacher, or 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12 history teacher, and just made history come alive. And you looked forward to the lessons because she was just so passionate and so excited about her subject and what she taught, and again just brought out the best in me, wanting to do well for her as well. So lots of inspiration.
My history teacher didn't do that.
Mine either. It's key. You've got to make it exciting.
And I'm so interested in history now, out of school.
Yeah.
I wish that I had a different experience.
Yeah.
Whoa. That was a great moment.
I really enjoyed that conversation, I must say. It was very interesting, and to hear the insights, I mean, Lauren speaks about like a grade one learner, and today, I mean, let's not mention age, but like probably she was in grade 1 long time ago.
Yeah.
But then she still does remember that.
No,
impact
it's incredible.
and that
incredible,
influence
actually.
that teacher had. Yeah.
Exactly, for sure. And then it's always interesting to to look at it from the other side. I think one of the things that we did talk about was, I said how I was so inspired when I was here at Rustenburg Junior School. I was so inspired actually by Mr. Murray, who
was that grade 1 though?
No. I can't remember grade 1. Lauren's clearly got a very good memory. No, I'm joking. No, it was when I started music in grade 6.
Okay.
Joined the senior choir, and Mr. Murray was just so influential in my life, and was the reason to why I started my love for music. And when I decided to become a teacher, I always said, if I could just inspire one child, just one child, then I feel like, my job on this earth was done. It's complete. And so that's why when we posed this second question, just to say, what child comes to mind, that these teachers have played a positive role in their life, and Janet's answer was very sweet.
I think Emma Mulder. Oh, yes, you're right. I think Emma Mulder.
Why do you think that?
Well, because she keeps on saying, I just love the piano.
Cute.
So that's another musician's answer there. And Claire said, that there's just, every year. Well, I mean, all the teachers actually said, they said, every year there's children that they inspire, or that they really have a close connection with, that let them in, to their lives. And we all just said what a rewarding job. What a rewarding job it is.
I think before even we get to what Claire said, funny enough is that I can relate to Claire's story, because one of the days I just went into a random class. I won't mention the teacher's name, and I was dropping off some magazine stuff and all of those things. And as I'm sitting there and I'm having a conversation with her, she receives a letter from one of the learners, right? And it was quite very, sorry about that. It was very interesting to see how much impact and communication it was, even through writing, Lauren. Like you could see the connect in it, you know, because sometimes it's very difficult to give that special attention to that one kid when you're in a class of 20 with 20 other kids.
Yeah, for
you know
sure.
what I mean?
Sure.
And what Claire said was like really pure, and I saw that. And I saw that again when we had Miss South Africa here, Shudu. The kids were writing this letter, "We love you," and all of those things.
Yeah.
And as I was reading
So
them,
innocent and pure, beautiful.
as I was reading all of those letters, Lauren, I was like, wow, yeah. And she said, I'm keeping this.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep this for a very long time, and they will always be in my memory box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's incredible. Yeah, and then, you know, I suppose, you know, this is one of the other questions, but it ties up in this question though. Where Claire said, you know, in grade 1 they start the year off where some of them can write, some of them can read, and that she then travels on that journey with them for the year. And at the end of the year, she receives these long letters about what the year has been like for them and what they have learnt from her. And she said, and this is just in terms of, you know, the influence that teachers have on their students, as we've been talking about. She says how she keeps all those letters and she has this box of letters at home. And I mean, I'm not doing the math here, but I mean, she's been here for 16 years. Oh. And I know she did say that her husband, I think they might need to buy a bigger house just to house all these letters. But, you know, it's so special. It's so special. And, you know, we have all these memories, and every year we can, you know, talk about, you know, that grade that came in, and they bring in a different thing, and the next year, you know, a grade brought in another thing, you know, and it's just, you know, every year you think it's going to be the same, and it's not, because all these children are just so incredible and so unique and just really bring different things to the table. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I will say this, Lauren, like one of the greatest questions I think, and I loved so much, it was about like, what are you going to miss about Rustenburg?
Yeah.
And it spoke so much volumes, not equating to the years that they've been here. I mean, if you walk into this place, right, I can tell you right now, I've only been here for 6 months. But I can tell you right now, if I had to walk away from this building, there's an impact that happened with my life.
Yeah.
There's certainly something that I'm going to miss that's very powerful. And in that question, I don't think you can even say this is 16 years, 10 years, and so forth, because it has touched them so much.
Yeah. No, for sure. It was quite beautiful. It's so funny, you know, throughout, there's always recurring themes between teachers as well. It's quite, you know, it's always lovely to hear that a lot of them, we've all had very similar experiences being at Rustenburg. And that's one of the questions that we asked them was, you know, to describe in 3 words, you know, about their time at Rustenburg. And yeah, it was just lovely to kind of hear everyone's input.
I'll start because I've been here the shortest. I've only been here 3.5 years, having moved from Natal. But my first word that comes to mind is happy. I've really had a very, very happy 3.5 years. I've learned lots. I've been challenged. I've been stretched. So those would be my 3 words: challenged, happy, challenged, and stretched, which are all positive, all in a very positive way. It's
for a minute there, I thought you were saying stressed, but you said
stretched. Having to do things differently, things differently.
Yeah.
Kind of implies a bit of stress.
a little bit of stress as well. But happy is the overwhelming. It's a happy environment. It's a happy group of girls. It's a happy. It's been a happy staff. Made wonderful connections, and
Me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been here the longest. Lauren, you were here when I arrived.
Yeah.
As a student.
Yeah.
Wow. 16 years I've been here. So my first word that comes to mind, and I was talking about it with Maggie the other day, is growth. I arrived here as a first-year teacher, got married, or got engaged, got married, had my kids. Yeah, it's growth.
Lots has changed.
Yeah, a lot has changed in the 16 years that I've been here. Growth. Yeah, also happiness and friendship. I've made really, really good friends while I've been here. Yeah, I'm going to miss the connections and the friendships more than anything else, I think. Yeah.
Big one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been here 7 years, also quite a good innings. And two of my words actually come from you two as well. Period of immense growth. So that was my first one that popped to mind. Immense growth. If I think of who I came in 7 years ago, I was still quite wet behind the ears as a teacher. I only had 3 years prior to that, prior to coming here. Connection, for sure. Also made some really lifelong connections and friendships here. And challenge. They have been challenging. It does stretch you. It kind of you learn your capacity. It's you surprise yourself.
Well, and at the end of December, it will be 11 years that I would have been here, so it's also quite a good inning. And I think quite a few words could pop to mind. And enriching, inspiring, challenging, growth and producing, and also lots of lovely friends and colleagues I've made, and a lovely community to be part of. So I'm grateful.
Wow. Are you my friend?
It's beautiful.
Can I be your friend?
Yeah, sure. It's really wonderful to hear. After so many years, you can still say those things.
Yeah.
I think that makes it a very special place, indeed.
Yeah. Like I said, in all those voices, the tone you could hear, that like really, it has hit home, and it's quite deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite deep, but I'm happy that they use the word happy.
Yeah.
It's a happy place. So we need to be happy because it's a happy place.
Yeah, for sure. But getting back to, you posed the question earlier about, and especially now, as you said now, with all the emotions that we hear and things.
Yeah.
You mentioned, what are they going to miss the most? Possibly about the students here. And Janet said that, she's going to miss the sound of them running up and down the music passages, and all the sounds of the instruments being played and the lessons being taught. And Lauren said, the fun and the love that she feels here, which is all very heartwarming. And she's going to miss everything about the girls because they are her favorite part of the day, which is very special. And Janet said she will miss the funny stories that the students tell her. And I think that's one of the things that I'm actually going to miss about Janet more. Just the hilarious stories that she always has to come and tell us, or that she has to share.
Yeah.
Just the way she does it as well. Sometimes, you'll be sitting quietly in your room and she'll literally barge in through the door just out of utter excitement to share the story with you. And so animated that you already laugh just at the introduction. She hasn't even told the story yet. But and this was actually one of the stories that she said in terms of things one of the stories that, in terms of what she'll be missing.
My favourites as a child that came very late to her guitar lesson, and I said, oh, don't worry, she was very flustered. She said, well, our dog was ill and my dad took it to the vet because it had puffy cheeks. I said, what, puffy cheeks? She said, yes, puffy cheeks.
You and your little minstrels, you've always got your stories about your little minstrels. It's so sweet.
I'm still interested to know what was wrong with that dog with puffy cheeks. Must have been stung by a bee or something. I'm not too sure.
I'm sure the dad listening to this right now is like, did you really share that with your teacher?
Exactly. And then the next question was actually running off of Janet's funny stories.
Yeah. About the best memories and the best moments.
Yeah.
It was amazing to hear all of those stories, as someone that just walked in this door.
Yeah.
Like I was learning so much and I was like, I want to go into the classrooms.
Yeah.
Maybe next year I might go.
For sure, exactly.
So that I can also share some best memories,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got an opportunity to hear those memories as well.
Yeah, the funny. I mean, we had just a prime example yesterday, marking a paper, a maths paper, and it said at the top, look at the 2D shapes below, and then there were all the 2D shapes, and then the question was, are they 2D or 3D shapes? Give a reason for your answer, and she says 2D because it says so in the heading. Which is classic, and she's completely right. So it's often just those little things that come up with that are such little pearls that you have such a chuckle and laugh at yourself because what a silly way of wording it, and of course she was 100% right. So it's often when they catch you out as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And we've got Janet's another one of Janet's, which is as I said, I'm really going to miss these.
Yeah.
There's lots of funny recorder stories. Group recorder. Then there was one was I'd say, I'm so sorry I don't have my recorder today. I said, but why don't you have it? Well, I was practicing at home, and my dad said I'll just put it in a safe place. And now he can't find it.
I think a lot of parents can.
I mean, Janet, she's got like a very nice way of telling the story.
Exactly, I know. As I was going to say, I think a lot of parents can relate to that story. So for those parents that are hearing this, that have hidden recorders, please take them out these holidays and give your child the opportunity to serenade you, whether it be with carols or whether it be with what the famous Mary Had a Little Lamb. I think everyone can play that one. Hey? On that note, though, recorder is actually an incredible instrument. Might I just add, from a musician's point of view, it's brilliant in terms of musical development in children and note reading and stuff like that. So extremely beneficial.
Yep.
Just a side note.
Yep.
And then I suppose we also looked at something really beautiful. Was how do they want to be remembered? And Louisa said as a happy person.
Yeah.
Remembered with warmth and love. And she wants her students not to remember what she taught them, but how she made them feel. Yeah. Which is a recurring theme with all teachers. They want you to remember them for who they were, not for, it's a more personal level.
I have to agree with that. I just for me as well, personally, if I have to remember a teacher that has made a huge impact in my life, it's really about how they made me feel. Really how we connected, the chemistry, the energy, and all of that. I mean, and no offense to anyone, we can cut this if we have to. But for example, any subject there's a curriculum, there's a way about the curriculum, maths, and all of those things. And when you go back into when you move into your normal life, which is after high school and all of those things, you do remember how the teacher made you feel, not how they really taught you, man.
Yeah, you're not remembering the subject, you're remembering how the subject was taught. Yeah, for sure. And then I suppose we, for everyone that we spoke to, there's another journey. From here, doesn't end here, and Louisa is moving with her family to Somerset West, and she'll be teaching at Somerset House. And then Claire is moving to Rondebosch Boys, which is very exciting after teaching girls for 16 years. So that's going to be very different for her. Lauren is taking...
Lauren, that's my favorite.
yeah. Taking some time off and traveling under a red-listed ban. But I'm sure she'll get as far as our borders and get to enjoy just, the...
No, she must send selfies. We need to include that on the newsletter. Lauren, if you're watching this, just send some selfies.
In the real places, though, not in front of backdrop photographs. Because as long as this ban lasts, I'm not too sure how far you're going to get. But she will, after the year, though, she will be returning. And then Janet is taking over the music department at Sun Valley. Which is in Fishhook, so it's even further away for her to drive. She'll now be traveling from Somerset West to Fishhook every day. We actually made a joke yesterday with Pam Heiberg, because Wallace, her best of, not Pam Heiberg's Wallace, it's Janet's Wallace, her husband, who she refers to as the best of boys. Their new little project at the moment is they have a caravan and a rubber ducky, and which they're going to go adventuring with. And Pam and I made the joke yesterday that it would probably be quicker if she left the Gordons Bay Harbour in her rubber ducky to arrive in the Cork Bay Harbour and then maybe go on foot to Fishhook. Instead of sitting in traffic by car. So Janet, that's an idea to maybe travel by boat to work every morning rather than by car. But and then it was so lovely to hear their final goodbyes and to see what
they had to say.
What they had to say. And that was also very emotional. It's never easy saying goodbye in any situation. But this is what these 4 lovely teachers had to say.
But let's just, maybe one last final question, Lauren. I know if I pose this question to you, probably the answer for that would probably be singing, I just feel like you'd be vibing on like, goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my... I know I'm off tune, but anyway. So if we had literally... have to give you a mic, speak to everyone, and say your final goodbyes. And literally, you've got 20 seconds to say your final goodbye. You've got all the students, the parents, the staff, and everyone. And you just, on the spotlight, you have this mic, 30 seconds to say your final goodbye. We'll start off with you, Janet.
Okay. I'd say I'm really grateful for the wonderful years I've been able to spend here, and I wish you everything of the best, much joy, and every success.
I would also say thanks for my time here. It's been a ride. I've enjoyed my time here at Rustenburg, and wish everyone the best and stay in touch.
I'll say thank you for welcoming me into the community and for making it such a happy few years. Thank you for the people I've worked with. Thank you for the girls who have come through my class and who will always be a part of my memory of this place. And yes, it's not goodbye, it's keep in touch and good luck. God bless.
Yeah, mine is also thank you for all the... just thank you for the last 16 years. It's been, as Lauren said, a ride. It's been a joy. It's been a challenge. It's been my whole world for 16 years. So thank you.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Is it time for our goodbye?
It is indeed.
I think everyone, thank you very much for having this conversation with me, Lauren, for joining in here, and also the teachers as well that have contributed at Rustenburg. We thank them. I think another thing, what do you think next year the parents or the school community can look up to? look forward to?
I don't know. I mean, I suppose, it's always exciting. I know as what Mrs. Peterson always says, with people leaving brings in fresh ideas. So, with some new staff coming in, it's very exciting to see what new things will be brought to the table. And, I suppose we're all kind of trying our best at the moment in these uncertain times. But, if it's something that you kind of have to live with for now, then it also gives us the opportunity to be creative. So yeah, I think, each year we'll get more and more creative as we go. And it's exciting.
Cool. I think
this is exciting too.
I'm excited.
Where's this going to go? Maybe that's what we can look forward to next year. Many more podcasts.
Yeah, many conversations. With teachers, students, everyone. Also the parents, the school community. I think I'm very excited about this project. Super excited. We'll see where it will take us, but we're very excited that we have actually kicked off and started.
Yeah.
Just before we go, what are you doing during school holidays? I mean, like, we closing on the 15th of December. You've got the 15th of December, 15th of January. I think you're back on the 17th or something like that.
Yeah. So I suppose I think we forget a lot about, we forget how beautiful this city actually is.
Is it?
And how long have you been here for? Have you got out at all?
I have.
Don't be jealous. Yeah, so I think we're going to be doing a lot of local nice walks and things, and maybe go and do a few drives to Franschhoek, and we're going to go spend 2 nights at Old MacDaddy and Elgin. So just pretty much local as lekker stuff, I guess. And you?
Going back home. I'll be in Joburg.
My gosh, shame.
I'll be in Joburg. So I'm just going to spend time with some family.
Enjoy the mountains and the ocean.
Wow. Let's call it a wrap. We can wrap it now. Okay. I think, we can wrap up now. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Lauren?
Yeah, and wishing you all a fantastic holiday, safe travel, safe journey. Enjoy the time with family and friends. And thanks so much for listening. Many more to come.
Cool.